everyone, welcome back to Pete and Jeremy's D&D Time. This is game 2 this evening, an adventure that I have entitled Sidewinder. And let's just dive right into the adventure. We find ourselves in the dusty frontier town of Green Meadows. There are buildings cobbled together of very, very old, dry timbers. We have little bits of tumbleweed rolling across the plains, desert extending for miles in all directions. We see, the occasional little cactus poke up, maybe a plateau or a mesa off in the distance. At the end, the long main road, which runs all throughout Green Meadows. On each side, there are two things. On one, the gallows and the water tower, iconic to the city. On the other, a strange wooden platform built up, almost like a pier that would run out into the water, but just built out in the plains. A strange set of metal tracks run across it and lead off into the far distance to the east. We see a poof of black smoke far in the distance that begins to rise, almost so it's getting closer and closer. We hear the rattling of the rails as one of the greatest technological creations in Lands of DnDTime, the steam engine, makes its way into town. It stops, last stop of the Central City Express, here in Green Meadows, which of course is not a very green place. And 4 adventurers depart. The last 4 board the train. I'm wondering, for each of you, who are you, right? And what do you look like? Right? What's the scene as you depart this old, or this actually very technologically advanced steam train and have arrived now in this frontier land? Let's start with you, Sparky. What do we see as Sparky disembarks and kind of takes their first steps under the hot sun of Green Meadows?
Sparky kind of hops off and looks up towards the front of the train and just runs up to the engine. Thank you very much. And then just kind of dashes back towards where the rest of the party is.
Yeah, I think you can still kind of hear, right, the whistle blowing, and you hear like a muffled voice call down. Someone waves down from the conductor's part at the front of the station to you, and then you quickly scamper back. Now Sparky's very young, right? Only about 9 years old or so, it would seem.
Yeah.
Excellent. So Sparky, you bolt your way back to the rickety stairs that lead up to this impromptu, or this platform out here, what passes for a station. The tumbleweeds, almost as big as you, right, roll by in the wind, kicking up bunches of dust as you run. And next to disembark, who do we see come off the train next? Is it maybe Sir Snobbington?
Yes, you see Sir Snobbington III. As he's departing from the station, he looks into the glass and he kind of adjusts his nice wig a little bit. It's a nice powdered wig, and he is finely dressed in what you could only be described as the finest aristocratic clothes that he could find. He's adjusting his glasses a little bit as he departs from the thing. As he steps off, the nicest thing that on his person is his boots. They're just the most beautiful cowboy boots you've ever seen in your life. Just magnificent. They got gold on the sides. They're just the best. And they have a nice lightning bolt stitched into the side.
So, a question quickly. So you're walking off, and are you dressed like a cowboy, or is this like a fancy waistcoat and powder wig, but the boots are on point?
Yes, it is fancy waistcoat and powdered wig, but boots are on point.
Excellent. So you take a few steps down, and of course one of the gnomes that does run the train, has run out and put a little step stool down to let you guys down from the train to the platform, and he's standing just kind of nearby. He looks pretty tired. He's wearing just kind of blue overalls and a t-shirt basically, because he was one of the engineer guys. And he's enjoy your stay, Mr. Snobbington.
Why, thank you. And here for your help, and I just throw him a copper piece, just one copper piece.
Thanks very much. Kind of tucks it into a pocket, seemingly like actually thankfully. That's a respectful tip. And yeah, you make your way down the steps where Sparky's already waiting. Who's next out of the train? Is it PJ or is it Emallys?
PJ steps forward, admiring the fine metal workings of the train that they were riding, and enjoying the masonry work around town. Admiring all the fancy stuff. Being a dwarf, admires the craftsmanship of the general area.
Yeah, so you kind of step down off down the step ladder, and now like this is probably your first opportunity really to walk along this impromptu little station, like this basically platform, this wooden platform built out here, and actually admire the metalwork from the outside of the train. The inside where you guys were riding was pretty bare bones, right? There were some wooden like benches basically, and just kind of riveted metal walls. But from the outside, it seems pretty well polished, or not well polished, but well put together. The paint's a little worn as it rides all the way out here to the frontier, far to the west of the Lands of DnDTime. And you can see the big kind of black text Central City Express right on the front, but most of the paint is peeled away. But the overall craftsmanship is quite surprisingly solid. Your guess is either dwarves must have made this, or this was created by some kind of magical cheatiness and isn't actually as durable as it may appear. Excellent. So PJ, as you kind of traverse, you can feel, you hear the squeaking of the boards underneath you of this platform. Emallys, you also depart the train. I presume, right? You don't want to just stay on the train the whole adventure, right?
Yeah, I mean, she walked behind someone else. Right after she like gets off the steps, she like pulls out a bag from like pretty much under her arm. Just smiles like a very cat-like grin as possible. Just stuffs into her bag. Just goes easiest snatch of my life.
Oh God, so you just robbed the train?
I robbed a former passenger of the train.
Yeah, I imagine there were a couple of other passengers who've gotten off at various stops, although this last leg of the train has been many hours once you passed over the Dragon Deep Gulch some ways back, or Dragon Deep Canyon. But yeah, now you all kind of disembark, and the little gnome looks to you all. As you're grinning to yourself, like looking at your treasures, which I imagine are maybe some jewelry, or is that the kind of stuff that Emallys takes?
She pretty much takes anything she can grab. It's pretty much just, hey, this guy looks incredibly tired. I doubt he'll notice that his coin purse is missing.
I mean, you like look in your bag and there's like a shoe in there that you stole from somebody?
Yeah, that was from like some guy who just sleeping on the train. Like, hey, that's a pretty nice set of shoes. I'll just stick that in here.
I'll take that.
Oh, wait, you have a shoe in there? That won't do at all. Here, and I hand him a new pair of shoes. It's literally the same pair of shoes, except it has a nice S stitched into the side.
The Snobbington logo. Well, yeah, as you kind of stand now, the sun beats down heavy upon all of you here. It's almost a little oppressive, but it's also very dry. So, you know, getting under some shade would really do a lot to alleviate the pressure of it. It's pretty windy as well. You see small cyclones of dust kind of build up and then die out. Nothing huge, but just the occasional wind blowing by. And yeah, up ahead you see the main roadway of Green Meadows. You can see a couple of frontier denizens, right? Either sitting on the porches of their respective buildings, or traveling to and fro, purchasing goods and living their daily lives. Several people down by the water tower are filling up buckets and the like. But your job is to head to, well, it's to help a man by the name of Angus You're supposed to meet at a place at the general store in town, is I think what Bartholomew would have told you guys. So, yeah, who wants to lead the way?
We'll inquire where the shop is with the gnome gentleman, and then head on up.
Yeah, so you approach the gnome, and he's kind of stretching a little bit. He seems like he's probably got a bit of a stiff back because he's been sitting the whole ride. He goes, you're looking for the general store. What's that? Something necessities, I think. Down the road. I don't know. It should be, and he just kind of points down the road. Just down there, I think, by the. There's only 2 roads in the whole town, so if you take a left at the only intersection, you should get there. Again, not a huge place. Not a lot of people. Oh, the dust. Not a lot of people getting or living out here.
Thank you, young man.
Oh, not a problem, sir. Thank you for riding the Central City Express.
Emallys like just tosses him like a gemstone. Says, "For the good work."
He just kind of looks at it with open eyes, like, whoa. Kind of picks it up and is like, "Is this real?" And he tucks it into a pocket quickly. And yeah, he picks up the little step ladder and puts it back on the train, and yeah, he starts to go back in the train, presumably to start cleaning it out in there. PJ, it sounds like you're kind of leading the path down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Come on, gentlemen, let's head on.
Yeah, you start trekking down the road, and again, it's fairly dusty, and there are lots of people, and you get a lot of eyes as you're walking down this road. It seems that newcomers are probably fairly infrequent around here. And so, there are folks outside, maybe, sitting on like a porch doing some knitting, just because that's how they, you repair clothes and you knit your own stuff. Or perhaps, right, you pass by up ahead what appears to be a little bit of a bustling tavern, and you can kind of hear the piano music kind of coming out the doors of it a little bit. But folks give you a look, right? They stand in the open doorways and they watch you as you walk by. Maybe one of them tips their big old cowboy hat. It's mostly humans here.
Waves back.
Yeah, and you don't think it's not like a aggressive stance on their part. It's like a suspicious almost. They're not used to a ton of new folks coming through.
Emallys at this time will probably like look around, see if she recognizes anyone from the criminal organization she works for, the criminal contact.
You want to use your criminal contact feature. So what does this do? You have a reliable and trustworthy contact, trust your liaison on a network of criminals. I mean,
I'm just saying, like, if there's anyone that she would recognize, like, with the club.
What? I think what you see, right, is there's a dude, right, standing in the doorway to the saloon looking at you as you kind of walk by, and you see the building you need to go to just across the street by the intersection here, the only intersection in this town. It's just got 2 roads. The general store, Bayer Necessities, Bayer Necessities. And yeah, I think you see someone with maybe like a patch on their heavier leather jacket right inside the saloon, and maybe the patch has like a symbol of your criminal organization, Emallys. It's like a club or something. I don't know.
Yeah. She would probably just just scoot away from the group for a moment, and like just talk to him a little bit, and like give him like a payment to deliver some goods back to the crib.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we gotta get in touch with this guy. Okay, so you kind of scoot away as everyone else makes their way over. Do you guys want to stop over anywhere here in the town? I mean, there's a barber, right? There's this saloon. There's a sheriff's office down the way, and of course, there's the general store. You found it's right over, across the street.
Well, we're walking in line, so him scurrying away, that might be a little bit harder than he believes.
Yeah, I mean, I think Emallys is goes to walk away. It's not like you don't notice if they're leaving. I think it's more of a I mean, did someone say anything as they kind of scoot off a little bit?
We need to get this job done, gentlemen.
Don't worry, I'll be right back. I see one of my friends over here, so give me a sec.
Are you sure we don't want to maybe hit the saloon up? Maybe they can give us some valuable information.
Well, we don't want to get too intoxicated before we talk to our main contact.
We want to talk to Mr. Angus first.
Give
Make sure
forward,
we get
yeah.
what we know.
True.
We're paid to do a job, so
I guess that's just fine thing to do.
can always come back later.
I mean, y'all could split up if you want. Half you can go talk to Angus and half you can go to the saloon. That's an option.
Yes, but the first rule to
Yeah, that's how we die.
dungeoneering. Yes.
All right, so I think Emallys scurries off, right, with the promise they'll be right back and catch up to you. And the rest of you walk over to Bare Necessities. It's a general store-like building, and you can still hear the tavern, the saloon piano in the distance here as you walk in. And it's got those kind of, what do they call them? The push-aside doors, right, that you see in classic, Wild Western kind of films. There are a few shelves with some things freestanding in the middle. It's mostly, manufactured goods that are sold here, but also dry goods, things that you can't get easily around town or make yourself. And yeah, as you walk in, on the far side, there is something of a counter that's been set up. There's a safe built into the wall, like right there out in the open, a big cast iron safe built into the back wall. And you'll see a kind of burly looking gentleman. He's not wearing like a hell of a lot. He's wearing trousers and a real beat up, it was probably white at one point, shirt, but it's all stained with dust and maybe some grease. This guy's a bit of a handyman. He's totally bald except for a big kind of mustache, which is just barely, it's very light brown. And he looks at you all as you enter. Just, welcome to Bare Necessities.
How do his boots look,
Hi.
by the way?
You can't see. He's behind the counter right now.
Oh, darn.
And
Hi, are you Mr. Angus?
yes, sir. Glad to be of service, Angus Buyer. What can I do for you, gentlemen? You're new around town, I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mr. Bartholomew sent us.
We're here to help you out.
Yeah, I figured about as much.
They're
don't
here
mind
to help
coming-
you out.
Yeah, mind coming a little closer? And he kind of gestures for you to walk over to the counter where he's at. And I assume, as you do so, he kind of assumes a bit more of a hushed tone. And he says, things have been a little funky here lately. We do a lot of trading with one of the other local towns. There are a handful of us out here in the frontier. A place called Sidewinder. It's right through the Sidewinder Canyon. About, 30 miles, 40 miles. It's not far. Bit of a trek in the heat, but not that bad. Especially if you travel at night. And, well, I haven't heard hide nor hair nor of anyone in better part of a week now. More than 6 days late with my last shipment. We get iron from them. Something, little useful to have. I've got a supply for now, but it's gonna run low sooner or later.
So you haven't had anybody return after trying to make a delivery?
We sent, we have messengers. They aren't a lot of them, but they got horses, and, we sent one of the messenger boys to go check up on him, and he ain't come back. So.
Well, it's pretty windy. There's a good chance you got a little directional misadventure there.
You'd think, but once you find the canyon, people don't just get lost out here, once you're at the canyon, you just follow through the gully, and that leads you right over Sidewinder.
All right, so pretty much straight shot then. So you think it might have been bandits?
I don't know what it might have been. Like I said, people don't get lost here. Could have been bandits. Could have been, I don't know, monsters. I know every once in a while those big old vultures start preying on folks, but on a horse, something like that should have been able to catch them off guard. I don't know.
So did they have a pretty big load then, or a wagon?
Well, the wagons were supposed to be here about a week ago, and yeah, they were loaded up on iron.
How many's usually in a wagon? How many? They got guys with weapons and stuff to defend it, or is it pretty simple?
Yeah, well, everybody here can wield a sword, shoot a little crossbow or something. Can't survive out here without it. Even the missus knows how to wield a heavy crossbow, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, usually it's 3 or 4, depending on how big of a trip we're expecting. So I should have been 3 or 4, well-armed folks, and they never showed up. So I don't know what the deal is. Maybe something's gone wrong in Sidewinder, and they need some help, or whatever. But it costs a king's ransom to import the iron from Central City. And to be frank, people in Sidewinder need the manufactured goods we get from them. So either way, it's lose-lose.
Put the strain on you then.
Well, like I said, we're good for now, but I don't know how Sidewinder is going to survive without us and the Central City Express. And eventually I'm going to need that iron.
It seems like you are at a sort of impasse. It seems like this business is neither good for you nor them.
That is absolutely correct, Mr. Man, you're a fancy feller.
I am. My name is Sir Snobbington III.
I apologize. Of course, mine, Angus Byer. He nods.
Have you heard of my shoes? And I take 2 very nice pairs of boots and set them on the table.
He doesn't seem like super surprised. May I?
Yes, you may.
Picks it up and inspects the boots. And do they have like the little
Lightning bolt
spiky, little spikes that come off the back, right? What are they called?
Spurs.
Yeah,
Yes,
they have little
those.
spurs. You kind of spin it around. Always thought those were a little tacky, but they work. I mean, it's just a fine-looking boot, sir.
Yes, I have
you
a
selling?
whole. Yes, I am. I have a whole shop or shop that people make them. Yes, a shop that people make them.
It's called a cobbler.
Emallys has snuck in the back. Just whoop, 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 whoop. He goes, well, we always need new boots. Usually we've got the butcher who also does some leather work in town. So I don't know, maybe.
Sir on the back, I said, yeah, he especially makes these boots for walking.
Well, I'll tell you, you're gonna be doing a lot of walking heading to Sidewinder, so I wish you the best, the very best.
Wait, did I tell you the coolest part about these boots? These are unlike any other.
All right.
And the boots
Your magical boots.
the boots that I handed him, right? Whenever I tap it a little bit, and it starts playing like the best song in the area, just like the best, most well-known.
Oh, so it just starts playing the saloon music.
Yeah.
He goes, how do I make him stop?
Oh,
How are you doing that?
just tap it again, and it stops. I could also do this, and I handed him another pair of boots, and they just light up.
I mean, that's mighty handy at night. I'd be very interested in talking to you about these, preferably once I get my iron back, if we can make that happen.
Sure.
Yeah, I've never actually taken the trip all the way out to Sidewinder myself. Usually, if we gotta send someone out, I'll send some of the boys from here, but...
You at least got a map or something.
Yeah, well, you can't really miss it. If you hit, and he gives you some general directions with some big landmarks. It's like, yeah, there's the big mesa, and to the about, I don't know, 5 miles to the east, right? And he gives you a couple landmarks that you don't think, based on his description, you don't think you could get him messed up. But no, he does not have a map, actually. It's like, yeah, most of the frontier is not really a mapped area. Just kind of local knowledge, you know?
All right. What about horses for rent?
I don't have no horse myself. Like I said, the messenger's got some. Post. And, I don't know, some of the guys in the tavern might have a horse you could barter out of them.
All right. And what are you talking? What are you looking to get back? Hopefully the entire load, I would imagine.
You know, I can deal with one lost load of iron. It'd be great if I could get it. But just to know where it is, I can send someone else to get it. My main goal is I just need to know what's happened. And, you know, hopefully if there is a danger, it'd be dealt with.
Alrighty.
Thank you very much, sirs.
Any other questions, gentlemen?
Oh, you're welcome to keep the boots, by the way.
Really? These ones are on the house.
Yes, they are.
Thank you very much, good sir. And he kind of looks down, and like you can see, like squinting, like, is that a hobgoblin? But he can't like tell because of your powdered wig and your fancy dress. And I imagine you have like makeup on and stuff too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just in the way that high nobles always have lots of makeup, tons of makeup on, all lead-based, not good for you. But yeah, he's well, these are quite nice actually. I'll tell you what, out of appreciation, I'm bringing these right over to the tavern, talk with some of the boys and show them off. Maybe you can sell a couple of pairs yourself before you head out.
Oh, that sounds
Couldn't
fantastic.
use a drink anyway. It's been dead all day in here. And he goes and grabs like a little jacket thing off the wall as he throws on, picks up the boots and starts making his way over to the tavern. And you can see his boots were very plain and pretty worn out at this point. But yeah, he heads out of the place. And what would you all like to do next? You have a general idea of where to go?
Well, let's go pick up our friend at the tavern and
Actually,
grab a drink and make sure we got water and stuff before we head out.
You see that Emallys has already actually snuck back in behind you guys and was just kind of waiting and chiming in every so often.
Oh, wow.
Looks like they were
that one's
truly
sneaky.
only in and out of the tavern very quickly. Right, Emallys?
Yeah, Emallys is like, yeah, I got nothing to do. Sorry, I'm usually very quiet. That might disturb y'all a little bit, but deal with it.
Did I mention there's a safe over there?
Oh, I saw it. Just that's above my pay grade at the moment.
You think about robbing the guy who just hired you?
I mean, no
I'm sorry, that's
discrimination.
Jeremy the narrator. You don't have to respond to Jeremy the narrator.
I mean, just out of character. Just for her, it'll just be, you know, you might have hired us, but I only discriminate when I want.
Okay. All right. So, where are you off to? What's the plan?
Well, let's make sure we got enough provisions and then head out.
Yeah, you're able to. I mean, before he leaves, he's able to give you, water skins and some trail ration, some food. He'll just give those to you free of charge since you're doing him a solid heading out there.
Right. We do need to grab a horse or so, I believe.
Okay.
At least a donkey maybe to pull back the supplies if we find the cut.
All right. So
So-
you want to walk around town and see where you can find some horses?
Yes, indeed.
All right. Well, it looks like Angus was truthful at one point. There is something of a they call it the frontier post. It's a really strange looking place here in the frontier because of all of the ramshackle wooden buildings that like are all along this main row here in Green Meadows. This one building's a little strange. All the buildings have the simple signs, maybe white paint above that says what the building's name is. This one has a strange, like, glowing green sign with weird stylized text, which reads Frontier Post.
Yeah,
And it kind of flickers a little bit.
Emallys is already getting some weird vibes off it.
Yeah, it definitely is not, it does not fit in here, and it's kind of off-putting. It's also like a little off on its own, like it's away from the other buildings here.
Just a big question: is there a symbol of a green sun somewhere on that?
No, just the color Frontier Post. Although it does, when you get close and look at it, it looks like there are little spokes emanating off the O in Post, and it looks kind of like a sun.
Yeah,
So
Emallys is like keeping away from that place.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can see it looks, besides the weird sign, like any other ramshackle building here, except it actually has a solid door, not like the push open doors, not the saloon door type style. And it has a little fence, coming off the back, and you see probably 2 or 3 horses in there. The horses are walking really weird, though. They aren't just kind of moseying around like horses. They're very stiff with how they walk.
Almost arcane. Can I do like some sort of a check to see?
Do you want to like go over and look at the horses?
Yes.
Okay, so you kind of go over to the fence and you, what do you like, hold your arm through like with some hay, like, hey, come here, horse.
Yes, sure. That sounds good.
PJ, you were saying something?
Yeah, if they're walking around like that, I was gonna say I think I've seen better statue movement than that before. And I'll wander towards the horses, try to make a better look at them myself.
Yeah, so you and Sparky, are you also just kind of looking to see the horses?
Sparky's just kind of watching, just kind of watching from a distance.
Safe. Sparky is very off-put by this and just giving it some space then.
Sparky
Okay.
just assumes they're like some breed of horse that he's never seen before. Like treating it kind of like a zoo.
Yeah, so the horse, one of the horses, there are 3 in the little back kind of fenced off area. One of them, I would say trots, but again, it's so almost mechanical with how it moves. It's very off-putting.
It's weak.
Yeah.
Granted, I am an artificer, so
Yeah, well, it walks over to you, and it looks like a horse, and it smells like a horse, and it kind of pulls back its lips and bares its teeth like a horse as it gets close to the hay that you're holding through the fence. And you can see its eyes, instead of normal black pupils, its eyes are almost like squirming black, like almost ink. It's very unsettling, and it just kind of slowly opens its mouth, sticks its tongue out, wraps its tongue around the hay, and pulls the hay back into its mouth and eats it.
Can I do like an Arcana check or some sort of?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you could totally roll an Arcana or a what's the other one?
Nature?
Yeah.
Okay, Arcana.
Nature was the one I was thinking of, but I'm bad at brain.
I did my Arcana check.
I don't think.
Sorry,
these are
so what did you? At the
12.
12? Okay, so you're looking at it, and yeah, I think as you're looking at it, you're like, man, there's something wrong with this horse. You're remembering your time in Central City, and you're aware of something called the Cult of the Green Sun, which is an evil kind of society almost. It's a cult, right? That's popular throughout the lands of DnDTime. That is all about kind of the bureaucracy and order of things, but they worship this evil, aberrant being called the Green Sun that not a lot of people know a lot about, and I don't think you do either. But the mechanical movement with which this horse moves, the very unnatural way in which it ate the hay out of your hand, and the squirming eyes, it all screams aberrations. This is probably a bad thing. Doesn't sound like the problem that your benefactor is experiencing, as generally the Green Sun is all about order, not like chaos or whatever. So this is just probably another branch of the Green Sun, as they handle all sorts of administrative things throughout the lands of DnDTime. This is a very far out one.
I reach out and I grab his arm. I said, I think, gentlemen, we should just head on out and leave those horses where they belong, behind the fence.
The horse, instead of going or anything, it just looks up, and you hear the word "nay" come out of its mouth.
Would you like a pair of shoes?
Generally
Did I offer the horses?
away.
Yeah. All right, you back off as I imagine, and I imagine you're kind of pulling your pal. Sir Snobbington away.
I got his arm.
Yeah, and so Snobbington, you're reaching under your coat, oh, I got horseshoes in here somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And Sparky's wandering closer.
Oh gosh! So Sparky, you're you're actually very interested in this creepy aberrant horse thing. Okay. Yeah, it seems harmless probably, but it's very creepy.
Sparky reaches up to go pat it on the nose.
You pat on the nose. It feels like a horse's nose, wet and snotty.
Nice horse.
Yeah, you pet the horse, and I imagine PJ, you go and get the 9-year-old kid who just walked.
Young man, let's go. Come on, you don't want to play with that.
The horse, nay, and yeah, you all eventually leave the trading or the post alone, the post office. Mm-hmm. And yeah, as you walk down the rest of the road, there are a couple of places that seem to have horses, right? There's the sheriff's office. The sheriff has horses, but you'll probably have a hard time getting them from the sheriff because he might need them. And there are a couple of horses tied up outside of the saloon still. So if you're still looking for horses, that would probably be the place to go, unless you wanted to barter with the sheriff.
I believe we should probably go to the saloon. The sheriff may need his horses.
Yes, of course, law is important.
Let me see if my friend owns one of those horses, and she'll probably lead everyone to the saloon, and she'll probably go back to her contact and start talking.
Yeah, so you make your way into the saloon, and you can see there's some quiet talking going on. People are chatting, having a good time. In the corner, folks are playing darts, right? They're throwing darts at a board on the wall. It's probably not a board even, it's probably just at the wall, and someone's taken an old wanted poster or something and hung it up, and they're throwing darts at that. It's just a pretty raucous little saloon going on here. People are hanging out, having a good drink for the evening. You see Angus, your benefactor, who's kind of at the end of the main bar area, showing off his new boots. He's wearing them on his feet, and he's talking to a couple of folks who are like, oh, wow, some good boots. And Emallys, you're going to head to the corner where the dudes are playing darts. And of course, there's the guy with the piano. It's actually probably a dwarf playing the piano, actually, here.
But yeah, and also just head to her contact and talk to him, see if he has any horses, or at least a horse and cart.
Yeah, I think so. If you walk over and he looks down, he's like, hey, welcome back. You want to play some darts?
Wish I could, but business is in my way, which is why I might need a little bit of your assistance. I'm looking for either at the very least, a horse and cart. we have some business over there in Sidewinder.
Heading to Sidewinder, huh?
Yep.
I have no business in Sidewinder.
Yeah, well, I do, but which is why I'm hoping if you know someone around here who could lend us a horse and cart for a decent price, I'll be most grateful.
Yeah, are the rest of you around with Emallys here? Are you all kind of like in the corner talking to the guys playing cards or playing darts?
Sparky,
I'm kind of
Sparky's
watching
just kind
from
of like
the door.
trying to get up onto a bar stool.
Sparky climbed up to the bar. What was that, PJ?
I'm watching from the door and make sure, no
Well, you can-
nefarious.
You see the bartender's about to like serve your 9-year-old adventuring kid. So Sparky's like a 9-year-old boy, it looks like. He is an Aasimar child. And it looks like the barkeep's just gonna serve him anyway. So the barkeep's like pouring you a shot of something, Sparky, as you try and climb up on the bar stool. I don't know if PJ has any care in the world about this, but you notice it for certain.
Make sure it's dwarven air, boy.
The barkeep like pauses his
Dwarf,
pour.
so.
Yeah, he pauses his pour and just kind of slides the little the glass down to the next person, takes a different jug out from under, and says, "Oh, but you're buying it then."
No problem if it's dwarven ale. Better be good.
He waves over. You want one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all right. He pours a couple of shots, and he gives one to you, Sparky, and he gives one to you, PJ. PJ, it is definitely dwarven ale, or dwarven whiskey, actually. Probably not the best dwarven whiskey there is, but I mean it's dwarven whiskey, so it's the best they can get out here for sure.
I'll lean in on the bartender and pass him a silver and ask him if he's heard any goings on the way to Sidewinder.
Yeah, I've heard a thing or two about Sidewinder. They're funky folk. Always dealing with those snakes out there. I've heard incredibly dangerous. Wouldn't want to step on one, bite you, die within minutes. But
You
I
know
insist
I ain't talking about the nature outside.
oh no, the folks in the town. That's they're all about that mine, but they hunt those snakes like it's no tomorrow. Everything there, snakeskin boots, snakeskin jackets.
All right, that's good to know.
Yeah, just gotta be careful of those things. We kill them if we see them. You don't try and hunt them and take their skins or nothing. You pop that thing from as far away as you can.
Why is that?
Like I said, their venom can kill a horse in 5 minutes. Forget about a man.
What about how big are they?
Well, around here, he kind of like gestures, and he gestures maybe like, I don't know, 2 or 3 feet, like sizable for a snake, but not gargantuan.
I heard there's also some vultures. Have you ever seen them?
Yeah, I used to see the vultures, old Blackwing up on the mesa, but I don't know, some other adventurers came by a few months back and dealt with them. We haven't really heard hide nor hair of the vulture since. Thank goodness, too. They were starting to take away mules and everything. The worst.
So
Even a
mostly
couple of
it's
kids.
The snakes. You haven't heard of any nefarious types out in the desert.
Oh, we get bandits every so often, but none recently.
And when Sparky hears that the vultures were taking off kids, his eyes just go really, really wide.
Just, oh no. Does Sparky drink his whiskey?
No, Sparky does not.
I love it.
Like, do you
Mine's
have
gone.
either you or the big long one that's kind of like
Sarsaparilla. No
Yes,
problem,
that.
son. And he kind of looks down at the whiskey and looks at you, PJ, like, you want it?
Yeah.
As he goes to get some sarsaparilla for Sparky. Meanwhile, on the other side of the tavern, though, Snobbington and Emallys, your context is, well, I'll tell you what, you're did me a solid bringing me that news from Central City. Let me tell you this. I got a horse. I got a cart. But I like keeping my horse and cart. You know what I mean? I know your type. It's dangerous probably where you're going. Otherwise, they would have sent me. I don't want to send my horse to its certain doom.
All right, so I guess you would like us to find some good protection for your horse?
Well, I also have a friend out here who owes me a favor. And he's got a mule. And I don't mind sending that mule to a certain doom. So here's how we're going to handle it. If you want the horse, I'm something of a gambling man. You got to beat me in a game of darts. You win, you get to use my horse. You lose, you get to use the mule.
Or could I maybe offer an optional thing? How about I just give you a nice, very nice pair of boots, one of a kind, and you could sell it for whatever price you would like someplace else.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Well, and I'm using my thing, so I should have. Hold on.
I believe so, yes. It's related to your tool. With your Snobgoblin feature. Well, my boots are incredible.
So this would be an additional +2, right? So,
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Because you're considered to be an expert.
Yes. No, even with the 4.
Has not showed up for me yet. What'd you roll?
Yeah,
That's
I
the
don't
wrong
see-
roll. That's intimidation.
I don't
Where's
see
my
roll
history?
for intimidation roll.
There
I
it
only-
is. There it is.
I'm only seeing the Arcana still.
Do you see it now? It should be now.
Are
Oh,
you-
wait.
Nope.
Are you in the wrong lobby, buddy?
Hold on, maybe.
Doesn't count if you're in the wrong roll20 lobby.
There you go. That should be an additional +2.
Okay, so an 11 total with your bonus. Yeah, he'll you know what? I was about to say, and you got to sweeten the deal, because otherwise I'm merging my horse against just a game of darts. We'll say if I win, you only use the mule and I get the boots.
That sounds about fair. And Emallys is like just jumped on a chair and then jumped on the table and get ready to throw some darts.
All right, so you three are all gonna play some darts. You guys technically have 2 chances to beat this guy because, well, I mean, I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know why. Because there are 2 of you and there's only one of him. All right, can each of you roll me a check for your darts? So if you're proficient with the weapon darts, which I think everyone is, you can just make me an attack roll with your darts, which I think is a thrown. Is it dexterity? Man, I forget this all the time.
Are darts simple weapon?
Yeah, darts are simple ranged weapons, so everyone's proficient with them, and you can use either strength or dexterity. So basically, just make an attack roll with your preferred weapon, and that's going to represent you throwing the darts. And
Can I throw a dart, or can I fire a hand crossbow?
yeah, it's functionally the same thing. So you're going to use your hand crossbow attack, but it's going to count as you throwing a dart, right? Because
Sure.
y'all are playing the darts, and yeah, he's doing the same exact thing actually. I'm gonna be rolling his hand crossbow check to represent his darts. So you each get 3 darts, and whoever just gets the highest roll wins. So go ahead. Who wants to go first?
I think
Or Emallys?
Emallys will go first.
All right.
So basically 3, pretty much 3 dexterity attack rolls, I guess.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Let him
1
fly.
second.
Wait, hold on. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Could this benefit?
It's an ability check. I think this is because it's an attack roll. I don't think so, actually.
Okay.
But one of the rare circumstances where guidance does not help him a ton. Well, I will roll his 3 first, and then you need to know how you need to beat. Oh my goodness! So you got to beat a critical. Oh my god! All right. Well, in order to tie him, you need 2 critical hits.
Okay, that's gonna be really tough.
Oh my goodness! It's a good thing we're just playing darts, and this is not the attack roll.
Okay, so I have a 5, an 18, and I pretty much miss and hit the dwarf.
Oh, I see. You rolled them all at the same time.
Yeah, I got a 5 plus 1, an 18 plus 1, and a failure on one of them, which I assume hits the dwarf piano player.
You hit the guy. I imagine what happens. You throw it and you hit a dude who's just like passed out in a chair, and it just like sinks into his shoulder, and everyone just stops from it like, oh. And then he just still snoring. So Emallys, you get crushed. You still hit the board a couple times, but he hits again, it's not really a board, but it's an old wanted poster. He hits the dude in the nose and splits his dart. Again, it's hitting him again in the nose. So it's on you, Sir Snobbington.
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
I have a thing that might be able to work.
Yeah, sure.
Catapult. Can the dartboard make a dexterity saving throw?
It'll be 0 as much as
What are the components of the spell catapult?
I'm just gonna catapult darts at it.
What are the components to the spell catapult?
Verbal?
Just verbal?
Hold on, let me.
Oh no, it's
It
just
is
somatic.
It's just somatic.
Damn. So yeah, I mean, if you want to use like catapult to cheat, you can do that. Do you want to do that?
Yes, I just catapult cheat.
Okay. So you throw you use catapult once. It hits the middle. All right. You still have to beat him. So okay, you have to hit it twice square in the middle to beat his 2 critical hits, and then you have to beat a 6.
I catapult a second time.
Okay, now you're tied with him. Now you can either make an attack roll and beat a 6, or you can just catapult, cheat, and auto win. But then you're probably out of spell slots.
I'm already out of spell slots.
Oh my god!
That's okay.
Right now we're tied.
Yes.
Right now you're tied. You got to beat a 6 with your dart.
23, I win.
That one hits the water poster right in the upper lip, which is better than the chin that he hit with his 3rd one. He goes, wow.
Yes, I'm the best.
Man, I thought I had you. Those were some incredible throws. Well, Emmy, the horse is yours tonight. Please don't kill him. It's the gray mare with the white splotches out front.
Don't worry, I'm a very good driver, so.
Yeah, my cart's the only one in here on the side of the building.
All right, thanks so much. You know what? Here, take these for your trouble. And like, she reaches to her own personal pouch and like gives him like 3 little gems that she picked up from that one little hermit crab shell that belonged to that one kobold.
Yeah, tucks it into his pocket, and as you all kind of regroup again, I imagine you kind of share the information you've gained, right? Knowing that there are actually Sidewinder serpents, like snakes, that are a huge threat or danger out in the area, and that you now have a horse and a cart that you can just use indefinitely.
Yes, that's what we will do.
So,
All right, gentlemen, you're ready to head out.
Yeah, and Emallys will be the one to drive.
How'd you like that sarsaparilla there, Sparky?
It was good.
I imagine, is it like just all over Sparky's face?
Oh, no, but he does have a pretty substantial sarsaparilla mustache.
It's a little bit of schmutz there that he doesn't realize. Beautiful. All right, you exit the saloon and make your way over. It's a pretty nice horse over here. This gray mare. It's got big white splotches along its side and stuff. And as you come up to it and kind of give it a pat on the neck, Emallys, it seems to kind of recognize you, or doesn't recognize you, but it doesn't like bother you at all as you hop on. It does have a riding saddle, and the saddle is all ready to attach to the wagon or whatever. I don't know how horses and wagons work, so it works. It's all ready. And yeah, are you all going to just ride in this little wagon? The wagon he's got is actually kind of nice. It's like one of the big Conestoga wagons, so it's got the white kind of tarp roof to it. Except it's not quite as large as a Conestoga wagon. It's just a smaller version of that. So you can sit in it and still be out of the sun, but it's light enough that a horse can carry it. So are you all just going to ride in the back, or are more than one person going to try and ride the horse? Because it could maybe fit 2 people.
Well, Emallys will ride a horse since she has a vehicle land proficiency.
Okay.
We should also maybe watch around the horse for snakes. So
Yeah, I was gonna suggest like whoever has a very good passive perception should really just like be the one to like be put on watch over.
I could give them guidance,
Gotcha.
so they'll have guidance whenever their perception check.
So what I'm hearing is we got Emallys on the back of the horse to drive, or to ride, right, steer it, drive, and all that. We have someone at the front of the wagon, but still under the tarp, so they're in the shade, and they're mainly the lookout. So Snobbington, you're going to assist whoever is doing that with guidance, and then
And probably the help
someone
action.
in the back.
Yeah, Sparky's in the back, looking out that way in case something comes up behind.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's,
guidance.
I'll be by the horse.
Guidance and the help action, I'm assuming, is possible, because guidance is concentration, blah, blah, blah.
yeah, I think you can definitely do that, Sir Snobbington. So yeah, you guys start to make your way out of town. It's a pretty dismal place. By the time you're leaving, right, it's mid-after, or it's probably late in the afternoon, and it starts to kind of cool off as it gets a little darker. And you'd been recommended to travel during the evening. Is that still your plan? And if so, do you guys have any kind of light?
Emallys will actually cast lights.
Oh,
Sparky
you wish
also
to-
casts light.
you wish to make do light in such an arcane way? Fine. If you wish to be archaic with it.
I don't really need it, but that's fine.
Well, yeah, for those that would need it, which includes Emallys, she'll probably cast on to her.
Excellent. So we got
and
light.
Sparky casts light on Nexier.
On the little mouse.
Fox.
Little fox. Goodness, right? Because it's a fox plushie.
Yeah.
I have light up boots.
I'll remember this soon.
I have light up boots right now. Just saying.
Can your boots glow like the ones you saw? Well, we're scamming that other guy with.
Yes.
I love how you just immediately went to scam him with your artificer abilities. Like, of course. Either way, yeah, you begin to make your way out, and you got a bright light from the light cantrip up in the front. Got a bright light in the back. There's no way you're gonna miss something, or hopefully nothing of any appreciable size that you're approaching or that's coming up behind you. But something small could eclipse or be lost to you. Even at night here, there's not a cloud in the sky, and the moonlight is enough to shed just a little bit of dim light over the surroundings. So you see the mesa rising in the distance, right? You see the cactus forest that was described to you by, I guess it was one of the landmarks described. And eventually, you find yourself approaching, following the directions of Angus Spire, the Sidewinder Canyon. You begin kind of descending down into the canyon. It's a kind of gradual deal with the canyon, right? You're at like one far end of it, and kind of make your way down the pathway. Clearly it's meant to be traveled. It's been traveled many a times. If you stop to get out. Actually, because you're doing the checks, PJ, can you roll me either a perception check or a survival check at this moment to represent like what you're picking up as you're going along? Now, because Sir Snobbington's helping you, you have advantage, which is very good here.
And
So
you
that's a
could roll a
23.
d4. And you could roll a d4.
Actually, can you roll me the d4, Sir Snobbington? Because it's your ability.
Oh, sure.
So Sir Snobbington is, I don't know, just kind of, I guess, idly talking to you, right? Just some friendly conversation, helping you to keep alert and awake, you know, traveling through the evening.
No
even
problem for a hill dwarf.
Yeah, of course, but it's always nice to have some company too.
Oh yes.
And yeah, man, 26 total. Okay, so as you're going down and kind of beginning down this kind of canyon side path that heads to the bottom of the canyon, you're seeing the signs that creatures have moved through here recently, right? You see some horse droppings probably off to the side that had, you know, it's remarkable that you even notice them, right? They just look like basically a pile of rocks, because at this point they're covered in dust and everything. They just look like dusty rocks. But I think maybe you catch a whiff of them. And, you know, you continue to travel around, and you see the signs of very, very old cart tracks. Has to be, you know, 2 weeks old probably. Tracks tend to last a while out here if they're deep enough, just because there's never any rain. And as you're continuing to head down the way, you have dark vision, right, out to 60 feet, PJ?
Yes.
And then with the dim light from the moon, I think what happens is with a roll of 26, I think after, you know, you've been traveling late into the night, you notice way up ahead of you, there's a cart. You almost couldn't even tell, because it's just, there's all of these rocks and debris around it off to the side of the passage. Like maybe they had fallen down, or maybe they've been there for a while. It's hard to tell in the total darkness, but you managed to pick out the remnants of what looks like a broken, smashed cart that kind of, none of the tracks that you've been following that lead, you know, further into the canyon go to it. Meaning it must have been coming from Sidewinder. And yeah, you probably notice it, like, I think with a 26, I'll say you notice it like 120 feet away. Like way in advance. You catch it in the moonlight.
There might be a cart up ahead, boys.
Okay, so does he like describe, like, does PJ describe like the condition?
Yeah, I think anything that I described so far.
All right, in that case, once he describes the condition, Emallys will like invoke the blessings of the trickster upon a horse to have it move a bit more stealth.
Okay, you're gonna make your horse a stealth horse. I'll say you're gonna have a really hard time having a stealth check with a wagon.
He has guidance on that.
It's a big rickety wagon.
He has guidance on that.
And I also have proficiency in land vehicles.
Okay. So, Emallys, do you like tell everyone, hey, I'm gonna try and make the horse stealthy so we can sneak past this?
I'll just say, like, just in case there's trouble with that cart there, we're gonna try to at least get by it without much, without trying to disturb anything that may be in that.
Don't forget the store owner could be his.
He could. But we don't know what's inside there.
We see if there's iron in it, maybe, but I really want to be more careful about some of these things. I mean, this is my horse now.
Yeah.
It's your horse for a loan. You're being loaned to this horse. At least that's what he seemed to think. If you steal his horse, I don't know. What's he gonna do, run after you? Okay. So, Emallys, if you're gonna try and sneak past it, can you roll me I want to actually say this is a land vehicles check, I think. And before you roll it, Sir Snobbington, are you going to try and help with the keep the horse quiet, keep the cart quiet? Is that the thing you're going to help with? Or do you want to continue helping PJ with the, investigating and looking around stuff?
Ooh, that is a good question, because I can only help one person.
Yeah.
I want to look at the cart as we're going that direction. So.
Yeah, might not be a bad idea.
Can come up and take over guidancing and investigating.
Oh, okay.
So Sparky, you with the inquisitive eyes of a child go up to also take a peek at the cart, helping out PJ.
Yes.
So if he's helping out PJ, then I'll help with the stealthiness.
And I like the idea that, like, in a kind of comical way, so Snobbington just kind of hangs off the front and whoop, slips on some like padded horseshoes to the horse.
Yes.
Just in a very very Hammer Space kind of like Acme kind of way.
Yes, that is the 100% the idea. Yeah.
In that case, could I get, with, I guess both of you have advantage, and then for Snobbington and Sparky, I'm going to need the D4 guidance rolls. Could I have Emallys and PJ each roll an ability check? For Emallys, could I have it be either an animal handling or land vehicles check? Probably actually should be land vehicles for you, now that I'm thinking about it. Should be land vehicles.
That's a D4.
And for PJ, could you roll me, I guess, perception? Because you're trying to get a good look here of this thing. Nice rolls, hot damn.
That sucks.
But that's what the help action's for.
Yeah, so I got 12 because of that advantage.
Exactly. So 12 total, not great. You know, the wagon isn't made for stealth. It squeaks, it creaks, it's not great.
But doesn't that add a 10 minutes, a plus 10 to the stealth roll? Or oh, no, it's just advantage.
Yeah. Yep. Plus, that's the horse specifically that has it. So, can you also roll me stealth check for the horse, actually? Because that's relevant.
All right, what is the modifier for the horse?
I believe a horse has... What the hell does a horse have? Wait a minute.
I think it's a flat.
Yeah, I might have dexterity. I think actually you're probably right. The draft horse. Let's see.
Riding
We got
horse
one
is
bet for
flat. Riding horse and draft horse both are flat.
Yep, good call, Dragon. Yeah, let's go with the just a flat D20, but I guess you have advantage from your blessing of the trickster.
Okay, 1 second.
All right, it's 7. Horse is kind of uncomfortable, right? It's kind of like making horse sounds.
Must not be used to your shoes.
I guess not.
It's kind of like walking around like a little weird with the shoes. And yeah,
Shiny.
well, the bright side, there are a couple of things you see as you're kind of coming around the side. PJ, your eyes are just honed in. Being a dwarf, you are completely used to dark environments. This little bit of dim light from the moon is more than enough. I think you see very clearly, right, that there are deep cart tracks. This cart obviously was racing along here before it came to its stop, heading far from back up or from up ahead, which is the direction of the town of Sidewinder. More than that, you see that there's like a whole bunch of rocks along it, like maybe they were being along its path, right? Like pretty sizable boulders, as if maybe they were being thrown down from up along the cliff edge. You see the slight glint of metal from the broken cart, which is pretty well smashed, as well as what look like a couple of, well, bodies. You see like the leather of jackets, right? You see a cowboy hat in amongst the rubble.
There's some bodies over there, guys, and they may have been crushed. We might want to check this out a little bit more, see if anybody happens to be able.
And yes, Sparky.
Jeremy, because this could be relevant, how tall are the cliffs?
The cliff edges here they're steep, but they aren't. These aren't the Grand Canyon, right? This is Sidewinder Canyon. It's like a pass that people go through. They're probably like 45, 50 feet. You know, they're not outrageously high.
Is there any footsteps around also, or no?
Footsteps? Like in the dirt, right? Where, yeah, I
where
think.
The car was and stuff.
Yeah, I think you can see a couple.
Anything bigger than a human?
Well,
Like I would know.
well, one thing is where you don't see any signs of a horse, like any. There's no like big bones, unless the horse was completely covered in rubble and debris. It's just gone. But you do see that like the bodies are spread out in such a way that clearly some of them got off the cart and started running in different directions. Then again, you haven't really looked at them very clearly yet, so you haven't gotten a good idea for what might have killed them. But at a glance, you see probably 3 bodies around, and again, no signs of a horse, just this big rubble and stuff.
Are any of them within reach?
If you dismounted, or if you wanted to ride the wagon over, I assume.
No,
Are you guys
I'm walking.
stopping?
I'm walking. Yeah, I'm walking.
Okay.
On
So
the
he's
side where the
dismounting. I don't think our cart has stopped yet.
cart- No, I've been walking. I've been walking with the cart.
Oh, right, because yeah, you've been looking around. No, I feel you. Okay, so in that case, so you're walking along, and I think what happens here is like you got to walk up to the nearest body, which is kind of smack dab in the middle of this gulch or this canyon. Canyon's maybe 40 feet wide, and again about 45, 50 feet tall. And yeah, kind of smack dab in the middle, there is one body, maybe. As you're getting closer to it, you can get a better look. You see the hat lying on the ground. You see the leathers of the jacket, right? You see the old boots with the little spurs in the back. But you see that there are some, like, shredding of the leather jacket. And beyond that, you see the pale white of bone, implying maybe this has been here for a while.
More than 2 weeks, possibly.
You want to go over and then roll a medicine check to check out the body a little bit better?
Well, if I can see the bone, I'm not really worried about helping him.
Fair enough.
I'm just going to assume that we see 3 bodies. We saw the metal. The store owner just wanted to know where the cart is. So I'll inform the rest of my crew what we're seeing and what actions they might want to take with.
Yeah. Emallys would like ask, is there any sign that it belongs to bare necessities?
Well, it's got the metal in the cart. And I can definitely see that.
Is it even the right metal?
Sparky and Sir Snobbington, where are you two?
I think we're still currently in the cart. Like, I don't think that the cart has stopped moving.
Okay, you're still in the car. Sparky, did you jump out with PJ to look around?
No, Sparky might have like
Just holding your light out?
flailed next year to like bop PJ on top of the head, but is very much still in the cart.
So you're just holding your glowing stuffed animal out.
Yes, and
very
like
cute.
swinging it by the tail to get him on
Get
the
the
head.
light around?
Yeah.
I love it. As you're doing all that, and I imagine that's like the movement of the light is what caught the reflection of the iron in the cart. But as that's happening, PJ, you call back to everyone, and you hear a sound coming from the body, and it sounds a bit like a rattle.
Oh no. Oh no, that doesn't sound good.
There's a Sidewinder out here, boys.
Yeah, Emallys like
It's actually coming from like the cowboy. It's actually a pretty nice cowboy hat, but it's coming from this dead man's cowboy hat, like it's under the hat,
okay.
and the hat's
Emallys,
just sprawled on the ground.
Emallys will actually halt the horse a ways back from that.
Okay.
Then she'll get off the.
The horse is like super antsy. It's like moving, it's stomping around like it's.
Emallys will like at least have it like back up some away from it before she like dismounts off the horse.
Yeah, so we're gonna have the horse probably be farther away. From
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you let the horse off some ways up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what would you like to do?
Moss would dismount off the horse, which is a bit of a jump for her, and then she'll probably approach the hat because she ain't afraid of no snake. But just in case, she's casting this at the start. Getting the Shield of Faith up just in case.
Okay.
And then as an action, well, actually, I wonder.
Well, let's hold up. Let's one thing at a time. You get your Shield of Faith. You've dismounted the horse.
Yeah.
And you're starting to make your way over.
Yeah.
Okay. Sparky, what are you doing?
Sparky is like climbed up onto like the front of the cart,
Okay.
standing like on what would be the wall
Okay.
and watching.
Do you want to try and climb up like on top of the little canvas top to this?
Yeah, I'll try to get on.
Can you roll me an athletics check? This is not to see if you succeed, but okay. Yeah, you clamber up on top pretty deftly. You have young child alacrity, so you have no problem climbing on top of things. And now your little glowing fox lets light out quite easily. And is there anything else that you want to do now that you're up there, Sparky?
No, just watching and trying to keep an eye out around.
Okay. Sir Snobbington, it sounds like you're approaching PJ.
No, I am not. I am with the horse. Probably like we're farther back, right?
Yeah,
But-
the horse is about, I don't know, I'd say is 60, 80 feet away. How far do you want it to be?
I like 60 feet. 60 feet sounds nice.
60 feet away
Yeah.
from the destroyed cart. That puts it maybe
Yeah.
30 feet from where PJ is now, looking at
Yes.
the body.
So that's 60 feet. Like it would be 60 feet from the hat, right?
Yeah. I was
Okay.
saying 30 feet from the hat, 60 feet from the actual debris.
Oh, okay.
You want to be
'cause
further?
the hat- yeah, if I want to be 60 feet from the hat, like I want to
That's
be
no problem.
decent
You're a
far.
little ways up the canyon.
Mhm. And I need the hat to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh my god. All right, so PJ, are you doing anything to the hat?
Well, I'm as I see him dismount and head my way, I warn the rest of them that this could be a snake's den if these bodies are that old. Even though they may have been crushed in only 2 weeks, there may be several snakes. That's why we see no meat and no blood of any kind here.
Several snakes, you say? That means that
Go
Could
ahead.
be.
Yeah, and
I'm
Moss is
just
like,
letting you know it's possible.
and Moss is just like, well, I'm not worried about any of my meat being taken since I'm not even made it.
You're a construct. But as you say that, PJ, right? Do you want to take any actions, or are you just kind of turning back toward the cart, or because I think you see your friend.
I'm
Sir Snobbington
moving towards.
casting a spell.
I'm moving towards the gentleman that got off the horse to make sure he understands possibly the situation he might be dealing with.
Yeah.
So I'm stepping back.
Cool. So you kind of step back, and the rattling sound still happens under the hat. You throw your acid splash, Sir Snobbington, and it flies out and it hits the hat, right? And the hat just burns instantly under the acid. And beneath it, you can see, barely visible within, now in the dim light of the light cantrip, you can see a snake, a small Sidewinder. I'm going to roll a dexterity saving throw for it with disadvantage because of the acid splash, because it couldn't see. It rolls an 8, and it begins to flail around rapidly as it is burning with acid, and you hear it, hissing and rattling, and it's just flipping out on the ground.
right.
Is it
if
dead,
there's
though?
if there is another Sidewinder within 5 feet of it, it would also need to make
I
it.
counted the hat as the other target within 5 feet
Okay.
because you couldn't see the Sidewinder.
All right.
The Sidewinder is not dead. This, little snake is just flailing around on the ground. It's got this kind of dark brown and tan coloration to it, almost striped. It's got a big like viper-like face and a rattly tail, and yet it's just flailing around in the sands, seemingly very injured by your acid, but it's not dead.
Yeah, Emallys has only used her bonus action.
Well, no, you used didn't you use your action to?
I only used my bonus actions for Shield of Faith.
Oh, I guess you're right, Emallys. My apologies. I thought you'd used your action for something.
Dismount would be the only thing.
Yeah.
Well, is dismount action or is it a movement?
It's half your movement. Was there something you'd want to have done, Emallys? I'm sorry, you were steering the horses.
I dismounted and then used bonus action of Shield of Faith.
Yeah, the action was to move the horse up like you wanted.
Okay.
But either way, I would like you all to roll for initiative at this moment. As the Sidewinder.
I'm getting low on that initiative. Ugh.
All right, Sparky, you are the first to go. You see the snake flailing wildly and hissing angrily. What would you like to do?
Ding dong, Mr. Snake.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy.
Oh,
man. Brutal.
Wisdom save.
The snake. All right, this is a snake. Wow. A snake is shockingly wise. Huh?
It saves.
It somehow saves and does not immediately die to your move. It continues to flail. This Sidewinder that's flailing around on the ground is going to hiss, and it's going to slither toward you, PJ, because you're right in front of it, and it's going to try and bite at you. I'm going to give it disadvantage because it's burning to death. So it makes a bite attack. Does a 14 hit your armor class, PJ?
No, it does not.
Alrighty, so I imagine just like you just kind of kick it out of your way, or how does this work out?
He plows into my shield face first. And gets hard hit.
Yeah, it goes up to strike, and just you pull out the shield, and it doesn't know what to do, and yet easily deflected. All right, Emallys, what would you like to do?
How far am I from PJ currently?
How far are you from PJ? That's a great question. I think 60 feet is how everybody wanted it. So you run about 60 feet currently.
All right, so yeah, I'll just hit the. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and just like snipe toward the Sidewinder with my light crossbow.
You just shoot with your light crossbow. You miss. You go to shoot the snake and you miss it. It's flailing around wildly. It's not going well.
Yeah, I'll just move up my full movement to like towards him.
All right, PJ, it's your turn. This is just a snake. It looks like.
All right. Seeing he did not like my friend's acid bath, I'll try to finish him off.
Well, actually, PJ, you can keep that roll if you want, but I will tell you there's something else that I don't think anyone else notices, because you're the one who's been perceptive all night. You've been rolling perception checks. The ground is shaking ever so slightly under you. There's a tremor in the earth that there usually is not. Maybe you couldn't tell before for whatever reason, but yeah, it kind of feels like there's a little tremor. Does that change what you'd like to do at all, or are you still going to smack this guy? Okay.
Yeah. We need to go right now. Then I grab the other gentleman and we start hauling to the cart. I'll do that.
Well, yeah, you're the furthest from the cart right now, because I guess they kept on riding a little bit while you went over to investigate. So you start running back toward the cart and just kind of double move.
Yep, disengage. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're going to disengage and then move. So this little Sidewinder doesn't get to attack you, but you start running back toward the cart. Snobbington.
Okay, hearing this, we're just gonna I'm on the horse and we're running away, right?
Oh, you're gonna get on the horse.
Well,
Is what you'd like to do.
I'm in the cart, right? So I'm assuming that we can still, from the cart, direct the horse on where to go,
You
right?
need to be on the horse. You need to ride the horse.
Ooh, I need to ride the horse.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the way it's been set up the whole time. But you can just climb on the horse if you want.
Do I need to ride the horse?
Why?
You could wait for us to get there.
Can I hit the
Yeah, I mean,
horse
you can wait for your friends running towards the cart.
or
Huh?
shoot the horse and make it run?
Yeah, you want to? Would you like to try and do that?
Like, can I
mean,
punch the horse?
A
Like,
smidge of a dick move. Okay, you could roll an animal handling check to get the horse to go, but you can't steer the horse without being on the horse, because that's where the stirrups are. What's the move?
I'm trying to figure out this at the moment.
Is Sir Snobbington just paralyzed with indecision in this moment?
Yes.
All right, so you just dodge with your indecision. Just, oh no, I don't know what to do. PJ looks like he'll be mad at me if I run, but I really wanted to snack this horse.
I really want to make this horse run away. We're told to run. I want to run. I'm not on the horse. I don't know what I should do. I'm not good with animals. What am I going to do right now?
I love it. Sparky, a truly a displaced noble, Sir Snobbington. I don't know what I'm doing. Sparky, what would you like to do? It's your turn. And I think now at the top of the initiative, everyone can feel the tremors. Like, they're pretty... You can feel them.
Yeah, I'm going to ring the bell at this snake again.
Okay. Got to roll wisdom saving throw. This
Oh
snake
my goodness!
is a god. Oh, the little
And-
tiny literally has 4 hit points, and you dealt one of its hit points in acid damage, so it's 3/4 dead. But this one little snake still lives.
And
Is there anything else that you'd like to do?
getting off the top of the cart and hopping back down into
What's your passive perception?
11.
Okay. Go on.
So just getting back down off the roof of the cart and down
You can just
into
jump down.
the actual cart. Yeah.
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah, just getting down into the actual cart so that I'm not
Okay.
standing up on top of the roof when we start running.
Yeah, and I think it's at this point I would like just very quickly PJ and Emallys to both roll me stealth checks, and I want you to roll with disadvantage, as both of you are on just the ground currently. All right. And I would like the horse to roll a stealth check at disadvantage. I can actually roll that.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh
So
no.
Emallys, you're right there.
Has it been an hour since have we been here an hour?
No, so the horse has advantage. Oh
So,
my.
yeah, so it would be the 14 because it would cancel out.
All right. It is at this point that everything changes just a little bit, because all of a sudden the shaking stops and the horse stops and just anxiously. And then there's an eruption of earth as what appears to be a gigantic snake just comes crashing out of the earth directly under Emallys.
Oh,
This thing-
to be fair, I was being carried by PJ.
Well, PJ can only get to you at the end of the turn is the problem. So I guess PJ is happening right next to you as you're running toward your ally, and this huge snake erupts out of the earth and goes to attack. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! All right. So Emallys, I'm gonna roll an attack roll for the snake. It was unseen when it began to attack, so it's going to roll with advantage against you as it crashes out of the earth. Rolls a 23 to hit. Oh my goodness.
That would hit me.
All right, it's going to hit you for 6 piercing damage on the bite, and this thing is a huge creature. It's probably a solid 15 to 18 feet long, and as it crashes up out of the earth, you see like earth being displaced that is strangely reminiscent to all of the rubble you saw around the big cart. And it looks just like a gigantic version of the little Sidewinder snake. And I need you to also roll me a Constitution saving throw against. Well, actually, are you immune to poison?
I'm immune to the poison condition. Yes.
All right, you don't have to roll a saving throw.
Okay.
That's a lucky one. It looks like the venom does not affect you.
All right. So what about that stunned effect?
That's what part of the poison.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. That being said, it did. Oh boy, it did hit you with its surprise attack.
Yeah, 6 damage, which is not very good.
Yeah, well, because it's got a surprise attack on you, it's going to deal extra damage to you, Emallys. It's going to catch you for an extra 9 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, okay, that actually hurts.
Yeah, as it just rips up out of the earth. And I think what happens is because you are a dull construct creature, right? I think everyone sees this sickening, like, blue-black venom, right? Go everywhere.
I just noticed I don't have immunity to poison. I have advantage on saving throws against being poisoned.
I need you to roll me that Constitution saving throw then with advantage. All right, You're good. Whew. No extra any badness, thankfully. All right.
It's advantage on poison, immune to disease. That's what it was.
Gotcha. Emallys, it's your move. There's a gargantuan snake that has just erupted from the earth next to you, and I think you all hear the super loud rattle of its tail. And that seems to be what's tremoring the earth, right? It's shaking a lot around you right now.
Question.
Yes. Go ahead, BJ.
If it's a large creature, is it large enough for attack of opportunity since it came up on my friend?
You know what? Yeah. I'll give it to you. I think it's big enough that, like, in its kind of positioning and moving, it would have probably evoked an attack coming out of there. Especially since you were right next to Emallys. So go ahead and give me an attack of opportunity on him. Oh, man. Yeah, you'll hit him. He is in the end, simply snakeskin, so really not that hard to make contact with. Go ahead and give me your damage. As you club him for a 4. Thwack. All right. We move to... So that was the attack of opportunity. Now it's Emallys.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so...
Thank you for the catch, by the way, BJ. I miss those things sometimes.
Yeah, okay, so considering that she's really hurt at the moment and she wants to make sure she doesn't get hurt again too much, she's going to invoke duplicity.
Oh, I will say, by your guess is this creature probably can feel tremors in the earth. So you're not sure how much help that will necessarily do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's pretty much going to be. I'm
just
pretty much
away
going
from.
to stay. Pretty much going to stay in my spot, but have like another like.
You're just going to try and be still.
Yeah, in a way, but at the same time, I'm going to drop my mace, which I'm pretty sure the light wore off of it some time ago. Because it only lasts for an hour. So yeah, as soon as I invoke duplicity, I'm dropping the mace right where the illusion would appear.
Okay.
I'm making it appear about 10 feet away from me.
So you just throw your mace over and hope that the creature really completely relies on its tremor sense.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right, and you invoke duplicity, so you have a spectral illusion. I'm sorry, it's not even spectral. You have an illusion of yourself nearby. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
That was an action. I still have I still have my Shield of Faith up, so that's pretty much all I'm gonna have to do. And I hope that someone of my party will heal me, if possible.
I don't know if anyone in your party can heal people. That's the fear. All right, Sparky. PJ, it's your move. What would you like to do?
I reach over to my friend. It looked like he took a nasty. And let's see here. Oh, is he within reach?
Yes. Your ally is currently within reach, as is the Sidewinder. Oh, you have Cure Wounds. I had no idea. You're a cleric, aren't you?
Cleric of War.
I am a fool. What else would you like to do, PJ? Anything?
As seeing how hurt does the snake look?
The snake looks relatively unharmed. It's huge. It's very beefy.
I will go ahead and invoke my deity. And as a bonus action, whack at it again.
Excellent. Yeah, you'll connect. Go ahead and give me that damage. Nice. Everything adds up. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do in that round, PJ?
That's it.
Excellent. So, Emallys, that's another 4 hit points to you, another 3 damage to Snake. Sir Snobbington the third. My apologies.
Yes,
what would you like to do?
forgot the sir. Anyways, how far is the snake from me particular?
30 feet currently.
Okay, fantastic. I have hand crossbow time.
That'll do.
Yeah, 6. Psh.
All right. You nail him for 6.
Fantastic. And I will dismount the
cart.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if that works like dismounting a horse. I'm not.
No, you just jump off. It's all good.
Yeah. And
You're not strapped on to a cart.
Okay, so I will get off of the horse and I will try to move farther away from this.
So you start running
snake.
up the canyon just away.
Yes.
All right.
That's what I'm doing. So I don't know how much movement getting off the cart costs, but
nothing. You just jump off.
Okay. So yeah, so I'm like 30 feet probably farther. So I'm
You're
moving
now
my full
60
movement.
feet. Cool. Sparky, what would you like to do? There's a giant snake.
Jumps out of the front of the cart and misses the ground. Just straight up.
Now,
And
does
then-
Sparky get like wings when this happens?
Yes.
Excellent. Are they are they appropriately sized wings for a 9-year-old boy, or are they just gigantic angel wings?
No, they are appropriately sized.
I figured. Okay, so you can now fly. Pretty
Yes.
good against the snake.
And going just about straight up, and then pew.
Alrighty, 13 will exactly hit him. Go ahead and oh man, what's that extra 3? Oh, it's from your Radiant Soul.
Yes.
Wow, what a big hit! Holy moly! All right, that's 16 points of damage. My lord. Yeah, you hit the Sidewinder, and now it glows with the spectral light. From up here, Sparky, you can see that there are boulders all along the cliff edge. Could be an interesting trap if you wanted to try and use it, but that would be could be tough.
Yeah, Sparky is probably not going to be shoving boulders anywhere.
I figured. All right, it's at the end of your turn, Sparky. Now we're on the Sidewinder. The Sidewinder, writhes and whips around in a little bit of pain now, being struck by that guiding bolt, and hisses, its tail rattling on the ground. As it rattles its tail and the ground shakes, because it's partially, underground still. Like, its whole body is not visible currently. It's just erupted out of the ground. And as its rattle underground, right, shakes the earth, I need Emallys and PJ to both roll me strength saving throws.
Oh, I'm not very good at that.
Okay. Oh, no. So both of you fall prone as the rattling shakes the earth. And then it's going to go after PJ, because you're the one you hit it hardest right there. Huh?
They had cast guidance on us, and that lasts an hour. Is it better now?
That's actually a good point. Nothing you've done has costed concentration yet, Sparky, has it?
No.
No.
But it
All right.
guys also only lasts a minute and his abilities.
Oh,
It's not
Yeah.
I thought it was that.
Yeah, Bless is the one I think that has the saving throws, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yep. So in this case, unfortunately, you do fall prone in this one.
Sure.
The Sidewinder is going to turn and go for you because you hit it last of the two of you there. I imagine you also hit the ground a little harder because you're a bit stockier being a dwarf and better armor than Emallys. But he goes to bite and only gets a 10, even with the advantage. So no connecting at all. I imagine you just bash his face away with the shield as it goes to whip down at you. Or do you roll or?
No, I just crunch it right in the head with the shield.
Yeah, it's just a. I love it. And yeah, it's big. I mean, its jaw could go around your head, but you deflect it with ease.
Reminds me of the cave snakes back home.
Oh dear. Emallys, it's your move.
All right, Emallys will actually have the illusion. Her illusion casts inflict wounds on the.
Okay.
Oh, come on! What's with these rolls?
I don't know what you're talking about, man. You just got a 21.
Indeed.
Oh,
Yeah, he's still guiding bolted.
all right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
That's why we love guiding bolt. I just realized you've got like what, 2 clerics, a divine soul sorcerer, and an artificer in this party. It's so much
Yes. Yes, there is.
So
there's a lot of magic.
Your illusory duplicate runs over and lets out this necrotic energy, which crawls all up the side of the Sidewinder.
Yeah.
Oh man, it is hurting. Is there
Also,
anything else?
yeah, I should have said beforehand. I did use my movement to get out of prone.
Okay, yeah, you stand up. That's no problem.
All right, so that
Exactly.
was the action. Actually, let's see if I have it for a bonus action.
Sure.
Actually, yeah. Well, I need to keep. Yeah, I think that's it for now.
Cool. PJ, your move. What would you like to do?
Stand up after it tried to strike me.
Okay.
Try to observe my friend, see how hurt he may still be.
How is Emallys? Is Emallys doing all right?
I am still under half health. I'm at 8 out of 9.
All right, you're still looking pretty beat up then. So I will. Are you still within reach, would you say?
Yeah, I'm still within reach,
Yeah.
I would say. My illusion, on the other hand, not so much. All right, that's good.
Touch him, and I still have my invocation going. I'll
Absolutely.
try to swing at the thing, and if you declare that a miss, I invoke my priestly right, and that's
Excellent.
10 to the bonus.
Yeah, I would have missed, but by what god does PJ worship? Is this a worshiper of Moradin?
War, yeah.
Excellent.
I can add a +10 to my attack before
Yes.
the declaration of a.
Of course. So I think, and in DnDTime, just for reference, because sometimes we go a little quick, if we overstep you when you want to do something like that, you can always correct us, and we're cool with it being a retroactive thing as long as it's still your turn. You know, because sometimes we go a little quick. But yeah, you swing up the Warhammer, and I imagine the snake goes to like curve out of the way, but there's almost like the clang, right, of like a hammer, right? Some sort of iconography of Moradin.
My holy god triumphs and directs my strike through.
Exactly, and you slam the side of the creature, hitting it for another 2. Oh man, not doing well on the rolls, unfortunately. The
All
D8s
right.
are not
It
being.
adds up.
It definitely does. The Sidewinder's looking pretty hurt at this point. Sir Snobbington, what would you like to do?
Okay, so
Just
I
needs
will
to poison
set.
someone once.
I know, right? I will
Short-term madness
set.
table's really bad.
I will set down my hand crossbow, right?
Okay.
And I will pull my what am I pulling out? I will pull out my painter's supply.
Okay.
And I will cast Acid Splash.
Okay, so you just throw some green paint and it whirls across and turns into acid along the way.
Yes.
Okie doke. Roll for the Sidewinder. His dexterity save is pretty good. Which, of course, every time I say that, it rolls a 10. Yeah, the acid strikes it, and just like the little one, which the little one just is gone. It's just left somewhere. Or maybe it was crushed by the big one erupting from the earth. Kind of hard to tell. Hint, it was crushed. It was actually probably crushed when PJ fell prone and fell on it, and it just died. But yes, the acid splash begins to eat away, burning at the scales of the big Sidewinder. And is there anything else you'd like to do, Sir Snobbington?
Oh, yes, of course. Move 30 more feet away.
Continue to run. Okay. Sparky? You see Sir Snobbington is just running down the canyon. He's just leaving.
No, I'm
Totally
doing things along the way. I'm doing things along the way.
Yeah, Sparky, like, flies to a different angle and sends another guiding bolt down.
Nice. Oh, that one unfortunately barely whiffs. Goes just a smidge wide.
And that's about it.
Is Sparky favored by the gods yet, though? Isn't that a feature you get?
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, what level is Sparky?
Yeah.
I just an offer in case you'd like to use the feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. So,
Yeah, well, in that case...
2d4 plus
you
2 hits.
All right. See, this is why I got your back. Every so often, I remember things about Dungeons and Dragons. Oh my God! Why did I remind you? This poor snake. The Sidewinder once again is struck with the brilliant white light, and it's looking bad. Is there anything else you'd like to do, Sparky?
Nope. I'm still flying around.
I imagine, like, when Sparky does, like, when the Favor by the Gods ability works, right? It's almost like the little stuffed animal you're holding just glows just a little brighter. It's like, what could this be?
Yeah, that and also wings and eyes do as well.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's just a little brighter. All right, the Sidewinder's turn. It's going to see if it recharges its Rattle ability. It does not. All right, it is going to take a bite attack at you, Emallys.
Which one of me?
Unfortunately, this creature does have a tremor sense.
But actually, one question I have to say: this creates a perfect illusion.
Yeah. Unfortunately, illusions, unless they specify otherwise, don't include like physical aspects. Like, this illusion is not a corporeal thing. Yeah. I don't think this defeats it.
Didn't he throw a hammer at it too, at a solution?
I did throw my mace down where the illusion was summoned. So.
Yeah, well, but that was a whole turn ago. You know what I mean?
And I haven't moved from my
and
spot.
you fell since then.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I guess it's wait. Oh, okay, one last question.
Sure.
Would a rattle ability make the mace shake up and down on the ground?
From what?
You said when I fell prone, I'll assume that the rattle was also making the mace jump up and down as if the ground was shaking. I'm just like
I mean, sorry. The feature it has is blind sight. It's got 10 feet of blind sight, so it can see that you are physically there and that the other thing is not physically there. It does not rely on sight for this feature.
So it cannot tell that the mace that where my illusion is standing there is there.
I mean, it knows it's there. It just sees the human thing that's standing there as well.
Okay, all right, okay. So
yeah,
it can discern what's humanoid.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that stupid. It has a modicum of wisdom.
Okay, gotcha. All right, gotcha.
Regardless, it's going to make one bite attack against you, which it will roll a 21.
That just hits.
Okay. Jeez, Grace, he's huge. Right, because you got the Shield of Faith up. All right, it's going to be 8 piercing. Are you still up?
8 piercing, I am still up, yes.
Thanks to those cure wounds. All right, can you roll me that Constitution saving throw?
Okay, yeah. Since I have advantage on.
Yep.
Nice.
All right. And then, in a strange chain of events, this incredibly injured animal begins to, like, slither away. It begins to turn. It goes to bolt directly past you, PJ, and just bolt down the canyon. It's not going back under the earth, and it looks like maybe it's faster on the ground than it would be burrowing. So it slithers. It just starts to run because it's dying. Meaning, because you're conscious, Emallys, you will get an attack of opportunity, and as will you, PJ.
All right, so yeah, my attack. Wait.
Who wants to go first? Because only one of you gets the advantage from the guiding bolt.
Emallys does have. Oh wait. How long would this creature be if it's like running?
For what purpose?
I may want to move right next to my illusion and cast inflict wound.
Well, it's not your turn yet. This is its turn.
Oh, okay, so
yeah.
I'll let him get take the opportunity.
Okay, cool. So, PJ, can you give me an attack with advantage? All right, you'll hit him. All righty. Pow. All right, and then Emallys, I guess you could also roll attack if you'd like. You don't have a weapon, do you?
No, I threw my mace on the ground with my illusion.
All right.
I do have a light crossbow, but that won't work.
Yeah, not a melee. All right, Emallys, it's your turn. The creature is currently 25 feet away from you. It is just slithering away down the canyon.
Okay, let me see. All right, so I can actually do this. So me and my illusion will move a full 30 feet to the position where we can actually catch this thing, and we will attack with inflict wounds with advantage because of the invoke duplicity.
Really?
Yep. As long as me and my illusion are 5 feet within 5 feet of each other, we have advantage on.
And you can move them both?
Yes. I'm moving.
Moving into bonus action.
Wow!
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah.
Go.
15.
15 will do it. You run up, and once again, your hands crackle with dark energies. Oh my goodness! Which tear through the serpent. You guys see scales are just shedding off of it as it runs, as it flees, grievously injured. It's still up though. Anything else you'd like to do, Emallys?
That's all I can do.
Go, PJ. Serpent is 25 feet away and fleeing.
All right. I'll take my full movement.
What was that? I can't hear you. Sorry.
I'll take my full movement and strike it.
Cool. Unfortunately, man, the 9 not connecting normally. Unless, can you use that ability more than once? I have no clue.
No.
Well, because it's a channel divinity, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and usually, I don't know how many channel divinities you get. Do you get 1 or 2?
I get 2.
1.
2 at level 2.
2 is my wisdom.
So if you'd like, you could try it again. You could use it again if you'd like. Up to you, though.
Yeah. I will go ahead and do that.
Cool. In that case, 19 will absolutely hit. Go ahead and give me that damage. Another 2. Oh my goodness, the 1s are strong with you today, my dude. That being said, can you explain to me how you killed a Sidewinder with your last attack?
Well, gentlemen, I believe we know what happened to the cart. And this vile creature tried to take a second cart and its companions down with it, but it was a bad idea. Stupid snake.
You just smack it.
I'm assuming so.
What was that, PJ? I'm sorry, I lost you a little bit.
I kicked it and just called it a stupid snake.
You smack it, you kick it, and call it a stupid snake. And with that, this massive serpentine creature takes its last victim, which apparently was one of the little tiny sidewinders that was crushed by it. And as the group of you kind of take stock of your situation, Sparky sparkling in the sky, flying above you all, and Sir Snobbington III, like 200 feet at this point down the canyon away from you. Yeah,
it was only 100. Okay.
Yeah, but then it went the other way. It went opposite of you to run.
Bring back the cart, dummy.
Yeah, Emallys like looks to like the only two remaining near her, goes, and you don't have a dagger. I'm going to try to get some to hide off this.
We should go ahead and collect
Sparky
metal while we're
puts
here.
a dagger down gently.
I
and
make
then
some really
flies
nice.
then flies into the back of the car.
I would make some really nice boots, just the best snakeskin boots ever.
So Snobbington and Emallys get down and kind of begin the process of skinning this gigantic snake.
We're gonna be rich.
PJ, you do your job like you were supposed to, and you go over and you check out the cart, and yes, you're able to easily discern this is definitely the cart that's supposed to go. There are horse bones that you find intermixed upon everything, and it looks like with some of the bodies that were partially crushed, right? There's almost like a liquefied like organic mass. That's why only the bones are left, right? Like the rest of them almost melted away from the venom. But
I'm gonna also collect maybe their cowboy hats or something that may determine who they were, or any relatives they had in town.
you get their boots, you get their hats.
Yes, their boots. Yes.
Turn them in, once we get back to town, and collect the metal, put it in the cart, deliver it to Sidewinder.
Absolutely. And with that, you're able to do just that. You collect the personal belongings to the, looks like 4 dead merchants and the 1 dead postman. You collect all the things, you bring them all back to their respective people.
And we also bring back a big old snake skin and some snake meat.
You do that.
And snake boots. You forgot, just the best, nicest snake boots ever.
And apparently there are snake boots for all. And
Yes.
Angus is not happy that his delivery merchants are dead, but he's happy that this he understands the tough aspect of life out here in the frontier. He thanks each of you for dealing with this terrible serpent, and you have all gained, or you are all paid your requisite 100 Bartholomew bucks, and you each gained your point of experience, which for some of you means you've leveled up to level 2. So, and actually maybe even higher level for Sparky. I don't know what Sparky's at currently.
Sparky needs 1 more before a Fable Battle of their own.
Oh, wow. We're almost there then. But yes, with
remember,
that...
Sparky played the first 3 weeks of March, so...
It's true. But with that, you've completed this adventure, and congrats, everybody. That was very well done. Would any of you like to go to Bartholomew's shop and pick up some magical or mundane things, or are we all good for now?
No.
Emallys would, yeah.
All right.
Greetings, adventurers. I see
Hi,
you
Mr.
very
Bartholomew.
successful. Yes, good to see you. Hi, Sparky. Emallys, I detect that you have something that you would like to purchase at this time.
Yes. I want to get an upgrade to this armor here. She shows up with her scale mail, and it says, and I probably want to glamour it as well.
You mean this armor? And he does it. He snaps his fingers, and your armor transforms into its new and upgraded form.
Yep.
Very
All
good.
right, thanks.
No problem. Anyone else? And with that,
Wait. I think yes. The answer is yes. I would like to upgrade this armor.
oh,
Let's go.
And that's the old 2 different armors in one day does it to you, Stu.
Thank you.
Anytime.
Well,
Congratulations on your success.
Emallys, what do you want for the glamour? You want it to glamour it too, right?
Yep. It's going to look. It'll probably have a bit of a red and black kind of stripy design. It'll probably have like a nice little cat-like grin on each of the shoulders for the breastplate.
I suspect your enemy shall come to fear the look.
They better.
All right.
And now, we'll be back soon.